Hi everyone, welcome to RWBY Character of the Week, where I pick the most outstanding character for each new episode and draw them. The character chosen is solely based on my opinion, but I always try to justify why a particular character is chosen. I'm going to do something different this year and compare my choice with the rest of the fandom, so please let me know in the comments who you would have chosen. Who stole the show for you? I'd love to compare our choices in the next video. Alright, let's get started with a short review of the episode. I do tend to be a bit more positive, but I won't exclude any grievances in this review. That's just inauthentic. The episode starts right where we left off, making it the first volume that doesn't begin after a time skip. We know that some of the events in this episode were supposed to be part of the Volume 6 finale, and I want to get into that a little bit. Honestly, I feel like this decision makes a lot of sense. I feel like including Penny's return in Volume 6 would have really lowered her sense of concern or consequence in the last volume. Showing the gang getting away with highly illegal actions and getting their friend back in one episode would have been too much. Too much reward, not enough punishment. A show where people have literal plot armor does not need more reasons to undermine consequences. Another way Volume 6 could have ended, based on this episode, is with the team being captured. I feel like this is the weakest option, for various reasons. I feel like ending with the team getting captured would have made the show lose any sort of dramatic tension at the end. Literally leaving things up in the air with a team in the airship was honestly the best choice, and I feel like the writers deserve some credit for that creative decision. So that brings me to my main sentiment towards this episode. To put it lightly, this is not the strongest opening for a volume. A lot of the reveals were incredibly obvious. The second I saw Pietro? I'm going to say this wrong, I know for sure. I knew he was Penny's dad. Now, that could be because nothing gets past the RWBY fandom, and we've had theories about him from way back in Volume 3 when he made like a very short cameo. What was that, like a second? You guys are too good. When he came on screen in this episode, I saw that balding head, that skin tone, I saw that pink bow tie thing, and I knew immediately. So when we finally did see Penny on screen this episode, it wasn't a surprise. Not that it mattered to me, because I fucking love her and her adorable personality. As you can see, she's my choice for this episode. I fucking love Penny. With that being said, the actual ending of this episode is a very, very weak cliffhanger. And again, this might just be because the audience is very observant. We know RWBY and the team are not actually in any danger or in trouble, because we've seen the opening, we've seen the Aesops, and we know that they're going to team up eventually. So really, this ending kind of downplays any kind of stakes. And this is essentially why I think that the events of this episode were best left out of the Volume 6 finale. Now for some positives. I think the animation in this episode is some of the best we've seen from RWBY. The city looks amazing. It's so well rendered, and the lighting, those colors, they pop. They use red and green, which happen to be complementary colors that always look freaking good together. The setting is way on point. The people, just everything, it's so fleshed out. It's the most fleshed out we've seen a city in RWBY so far. One of the other highlights of this episode was the fight scene. It was so good to see everyone working together and having each other's back. On the topic of teamwork, I also like the fact that team let Weiss call the shots when they first arrived at Atlas. She's the one most familiar with the area, and she knows a little bit about the military through her sister. I also like that they let Maria take the lead when she had a great idea. Great teamwork, but I do wish they had let Blake take the lead when she was handling the drunk. She clearly didn't want to cause a scene. They were trying to lay low, and she was attempting to defuse the situation. This was sort of her area of expertise, and I feel like this could have been a very small moment for her to handle things non-violently, because that is part of her arc. And I do hope that at some point she will get the chance to smooth the tensions between humans and Faunus without having to resort to violence. So why am I drawing Penny? Aside from the fact that she's adorable as fuck, and I freaking love her and her cute little outfit, and she's just freaking cute. She's a stand-up for this episode because that entrance was flawless. She took those Grimm down gracefully and with little effort. She's even more graceful a fighter than Weiss now, and that's pretty cool. Her upgrades are pretty neat. She can fly now. And she has Grim killing lasers on her feet now. That's freaking cool. That's freaking badass. She's also now the official defender of Atlas, which is pretty cool. I'm very curious to see how that came to be because she's very closely linked to the fall of Beacon, which is a huge tragedy in universe. Of course, I do have some issues. She's back completely unchanged, aside from the new look. Her memory core was completely undamaged, and I'm willing to suspend disbelief for that. But her return wasn't emotional at all. She was a beloved character that we all saw RWBY actually cry over. There are so few times we've actually seen RWBY cry, and in this reunion, there was barely a reaction from her. Despite that, I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with Penny now. Now that she's back, there's plenty of possibilities. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys. That's the video. Please let me know in the comments or on Twitter, because I'm going to post this on Twitter, of course, who you would have chosen for the standout in this episode. Do you agree with my choice, or do you think someone else deserves the title of Character of the Week? Alright then!